Welcome to the lecture series of plant nutrition. Today we will be talking about the diagnosis of nutrient deficiency by visual observation. So what is visual observation? The visual observation is an identification process of nutrient deficiency in croplands by using naked eye. It is very easy and simple technique. Physical and diagnosis can be made by specific deficiency symptom caused by specific nutrient element. So advantages of visual observation of deficiency. What are the advantages? The advantage is visual observation of deficiencies is a very powerful tool for determining nutrient deficiency quickly, and it is cost effective. That is, no cost is required for the determination of nutrient deficiency. It is very easy and minimum cost is required for operating the process in the field. Farmers may be given training for practicing this technique. No technical knowledge is required in operating this system. It traces to identify plant nutrient deficiency symptoms and can alert farmers to take necessary precaution. Required corrective measures can be taken during crop growth if it is identified earlier. Large area of farm can be examined with a very short time. In order to find the actual deficiency, it is necessary to gather additional information, namely soil pH, moisture content, etc. The disadvantages of visual observation of nutrient deficiency. So it is not independent method but a supplement to other analysis system for diagnosis the deficiency of nutrients. Only naked eye observation cannot be given any precise solution. Visual observation is often confused with biotic stresses, that is pathogenic infestation, and abiotic stresses like water and salinity stresses. This system may be confused with deficiency of one element to another other elements, as an element shows different types of deficiencies. Interaction of different ions can create deficiency which cannot be addressed by this system. The deficiency symptoms of nutrients are very complex because every nutrient has many physiological and metabolic functions, and each functions may have interaction with environmental parameters. Moreover, the expression of these symptoms varies for chronic deficiency condition. Precautions to be taken during identifying the deficiency of nutrients. Number one, many similar symptoms may appear at a time, that is, N and sulfur deficiency symptoms are almost alike, but they depend upon the location, growth stage, and severity of deficiencies. Multiple deficiencies and or toxicities can occur at the same time. Deficiency of more than one nutrient or toxicity can produce similar symptoms, or possibly a deficiency of one nutrient can induce that of another in excess amount. For example, excessive P causes zinc deficiency and luxury uptake of manganese induces the deficiency of iron, or vice versa. Deficiency symptoms may vary in different crop species. Even some cultivars of the same species may differ in their ability to adapt to nutrient deficiencies and toxicities. For example, corn is typically more sensitive to zinc deficiency than barley. Pseudo or false deficiency symptoms, disease symptoms appearing similar to nutrient deficiency symptoms, Potential factors causing CO2 deficiency include but are not limited to disease, drought, excess water, genetic abnormalities, herbicide and pesticide residues, insect and soil compaction. Sometimes deficient plants do not show any deficiency symptoms under hidden hunger condition. Sometimes the deficiency of nutrients is induced by environmental limitation, namely space, drought, flood, and salinity stress. A typical example of iron deficiency, which is induced by the presence of excessive amount of manganese in the soil. Moreover, transition metals, namely copper, zinc, chromium, and nickel, may compete with iron for the absorption of plant roots. Generally, the concentration of nutrients in different plant parts like root, stem, leaves, fruits is not uniform, which may cause the deficiency of nutrients in different plant parts, leads to the confusion of diagnosis system. It is very difficult to interpret and diagnose of complete symptoms are not visible clearly in plant parts. So this is all about the diagnosis of nutrient deficiency by visual observation. So what we learned from this lesson is the advantages of nutrient deficiency by visual observation and disadvantages, as it is not 100% accurate method. It is a supplemental to the corrected method or corrective method, and the precondition or precaution to be taken during the diagnosis of nutrient deficiency by visual observation. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you are benefited by watching this video, please do subscribe the channel for getting information or notification of new video uploaded in the channel. Thank you once again. Dear students, welcome to the plant nutrition tutorial. Today we will be talking about the diagnosis of nutrient deficiency in crop plants. By this lesson, we shall be able to know how to identify the diagnosis of crop plants. So if we see the diagnosis process, we can see the abnormal growth of the crop plants. This is one of the deficiency of croplands is due to causal agent is abnormal growth of cropland, physical injury, insect attack, disease infestation, abiotic stress, that is flooding, drought, high temperature, low temperature, hailstorm, salinity, nutritional problem, deficiency, toxicity. So here we can see the growth curve of croplands. This is the growth period, and this is the biomass or the biomass production. So this curve is look like a S-shaped curve. The initial phase is establishment phase. This is the lag phase. This is the linear phase or log phase, and this is a stationary phase, and thereafter this is the declining phase. So possible causes of nutrient deficiencies in croplands. Number one, the presence of insufficient nutrients, that is a lower level of nutrients, low fertility status of the soil. Adverse soil pH, that is low or high pH value, which affects the uptake of nutrients. The physical condition may influence on developing the deficiency of symptoms. Water stress, that is drought or flooding, makes nutrients unavailable to the plants. Excessive wet or dry soil, cold weather, or soil compaction can also significantly restrict the access of root to the soil nutrients. Poor root growth to acquire sufficient amount of nutrient which can be due to poor growing conditions, excessively wet or dry soils, cold weather or soil compaction. Root injury due to the mechanical insect disease or herbicidal injury, genetical character of the plant, that is, the certain plants are not able to absorbing the sufficient nutrients. The hidden hunger of plants for nutrients. The subclinical deficiency often refers to as hidden hunger, a situation below the optimum level of nutrients. It may so happen that nutrient content is above the deficiency symptoms shown but is still considered below that is needed for optimum growth. Hidden hunger of plants cannot always be correctly identified by visual observation, and the best method of identifying deficiency of symptom is to test the plant thoroughly for its nutrient status. Loss of crop yields can be minimized if the hidden deficiency of certain elements can be detected by plant analysis and required nutrient can be applied. Significant crop response can be found by the application of specific nutrient at this stage. This is the growth curve of against the nutrient supply. If we supply the nutrient, then the crop yield will be increased like this. This is not the straight line, this is the polynomial curve, and here this is the deficiency portion, and this is the critical nutrient concentration point. It is a point which above the excessive growth is occurred, and below this is the deficiency occurred. This is a certain point, and above this the sufficiency consumption of nutrient is here, and after this is the high uptake of nutrients, and there is the toxic effect of the nutrients, and this is the concentration of nutrients against the supply of nutrients. So if the nutrient supply is increased with the increase of with time, the concentration will be increased against the concentration against the supply of nutrients. However, the crop yield will not increase like this linearly. This will increase the polynomial condition, the polynomial graph. So this is the hidden hunger, this is the deficiency level, this is sufficiency, this is high uptake, and this is excessive uptake condition. So what is critical nutrient concentration point? The critical nutrient concentration point is very much crucial for identifying the hidden hunger and excessive uptake of nutrients. It implies a single point on a curve that relates nutrient concentration with yield. The concept is well established as a basis for diagnosis nutritional problem in crop plants. However, it is difficult to establish a single point experimentally because the critical point may vary under different environmental conditions and crop varieties. Critical nutrient concentration range. This CNR is defined as the range of nutrient concentration above which is reasonably confident the crop is sufficiently supplied with nutrient and below its deficient. This is very useful for determining the sufficiency of nutrients than a single point. That is critical nutrient concentration point. For practical implication, CNR value must previously be established at various growth stages during the season of growing crop plants. Sufficiency level. This is the nutrient concentration status of the plant where luxury uptake is performed. At this high level, higher concentration of nutrient is found in the plant tissue without giving any yield improvement. The added nutrient element will not increase the growth but enhance the nutrient concentration. The extra nutrient ions are stored in the vacuole or cytosol without participating in the metabolic activities. The stored nutrients do not show any toxic activity in the plant system. The luxury consumption implies in this situation toxic or excessive level of nutrients in the plant. In this situation, excess amount of nutrients are taken up by the plant, resulting in imbalance and ratio of nutrient elements and consequently metabolic disorder. The impaired metabolic disorder results in the toxicity of the plant. The excessive level of nutrient can reduce the plant growth directly through toxic effect or indirectly declining the concentration of other nutrients. The excessive sub-interaction as the nutrient deficiency symptoms may be categories as follows: complete death at seedling stage or early growth stage, severe stunting of plants in the seedling or maturity stage, appearance of specific leaf symptoms during crop growth, delay or abnormal maturity of crop, either maturity early or delay in maturity, significant reduction of yield even showing no deficiency symptom in leaf. The quality of crop may be decreased despite of yield loss. Diagnosis of nutrient deficiency can be performed by the following two processes: visual observation and analysis of plant and soil. So what we learned from this lesson? We learned the growth curve of a plant and the growth curve of a plant against the supply of nutrient and the level different point, the critical nutrient concentration point, sufficient point and excessive point, hidden hunger. The hidden hunger is that point where the deficiency symptom is not visible, but internally the concentration of nutrients is under deficient condition. So that is why the plant is suffering the deficiency but showing any deficiency symptoms. And the sufficiency where the increased nutrient concentration is there, but the no yield is increased. However, the excessive nutrients will not do any harmful effect, but they will be stored in the cytoplasm or vacuole. And the toxic level is that level where the ionic imbalance is there, so metabolic activity will be hampered. And finally, the deficiency diagnosis of deficiency can be performed by two methods. One is visual observation, another is analysis of plant and the soil. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please, if you do not subscribe to the channel, you can subscribe for getting the new video so that you can get information on notice for any any video we upload in this tutorial. Thank you very much.